Lights, camera, action. Welcome back to Flick Flash. In the first season of Reacher on Amazon Prime, there's a lot of pressure to execute Lee Child's vision perfectly. When Tom Cruise portrayed the 6'5", 250-pound, chiseled figure of steel that would make Wolverine's sideburns quiver in terror, the adored anti-hero infuriated his fan following. Lee Child, who contributed significantly to each episode's scripting, has been reported as claiming that this adaptation is the best Jack Reacher movie ever made. The team took his contributions very seriously, finding a man who could play the part not just physically but also as a smart, deadpan witter and someone with a deep moral code was part of it. Alan Ritchson seems to be the one they discovered it. But nothing is ever certain, as other popular book series adaptations have shown us. Anyhow, we've made the decision to give a synopsis of the plot and explain what transpired in Reacher Season 1. Greetings from Margrave. Reacher gets apprehended while only attempting to consume a portion of the finest peach pie in Georgia, all because two dead people were lying on a flyover that he had crossed. The former military policeman's only goal was to get to Margrave, a town famous for being Blind Blake's ultimate resting place, a ragtime jazz performer. Knowing that the police haven't yet completed any legwork and that his presence at the crime site is only a coincidence, Reacher talks his way out of the situation very fast. Paul Hubble, who had confessed to the crime, is later taken into custody. Too soon, according to Reacher. Still, this is one of those astounding coincidences. The first person discovered was a truck driver employed by the nearby Margrave firm Kleiner Industries. Second, they found another John Doe 40 feet distant. He recalls Finley telling him to see whether anybody else on that recording who appears to be Reacher looks similar to him while strolling around Margrave. Reacher presents the report to Jasper, Officer Roscoe Conklin, and Detective Oscar Finlay. The gunman donned a protective gear to stop DNA transmission, and the victim had a latex allergy. His arm was broken by the victim. In Berlin, says Reacher, the victim's tonsils were removed. Reacher speaks out loud in Seoul. The other casualty is Joe, his elder brother. First dance, Reacher tells Roscoe that he thought the Aryan Nation Welcome Committee members were going to murder him when they jumped him and Hubble after they were put in jail. But in reality, the primary aim was Hubble. And Police Chief Morrison, we have a third homicide. Reacher believes Paul Hubble has passed away because he is currently absent. Mrs. Hubble and their children are gathered together. Along with Oscar's pal FBI agent Picard, she slips into hiding. Amazing. Roscoe is introduced in the episode as a creative, tough, and motivated police officer who was chosen by the FBI and CIA despite, in Reacher's words, her lack of interpersonal skills. The type of lady he was. Special Agent Molly Beth Gordon, employed by the Secret Service, is another woman who fits the Reacher character. Officer Roscoe called her back to inquire about Joe. Reacher informs her that Joe has passed away. She informs them that Joe served as the Office of Investigations Director. He was in charge of a counterfeiting initiative. They also learn the first victim's name. Kleiner Industries compensated Pete Joblin, a truck driver for South Freight Shipping, all of his legal costs. Up in a tree, after shooting two hitmen, Reacher discovered the body of another suspect in the car's trunk. Reacher's execution in jail was planned by Spivey, the corrections office. Furthermore, and maybe most significantly, Reacher and Roscoe have an alternate romantic evening before leaving the following day to confront Joblin's former spouse. She informs them that because he drove a vehicle, paid off their house, his parents' house, and luxury goods, she had suspicions that he was involved in criminal activities. However, things are improving. Joe's hard copy files are being delivered by Molly Beth at the train station. They can't find her when she arrives. Reacher discovers her bleeding from an impending deadly wound when she is lying down the train station tracks. The files vanish, and she later dies in Reacher's arms. I apologize. In order to look into the killing of an EPA agent, Reacher travels to Arkansas with his devoted old colleague Neagley. After looking into the disposal of chemicals into a nearby river, the Viking was hired to kill them. Reacher and Neagley watch in horror as one of the police officers driving them around town takes out his gun and kills his comrade in the head. The cruiser passes a bridge across a river as it plummets off the road and into the water below. Finley gets into Kleiner Industries to search through the owner's files as the bad guy drowns and they manage to flee. However, when he gets to the workplace, they discover that the man has a slashed neck and is seated at his desk. Papier. This episode looks at a piece of paper that Reacher discovered among Joe's possessions. They get in touch with a professor who has a fascinating tale to share. She was one of two scholars looking at the implications of mass undetectable counterfeiting, or MUC, and the fact that 80% of US cash in circulation is still in $1 notes. How? Because the US dollar is the world's most stable currency. Joe believed that counterfeit US money was being sent to Georgia, but Reacher was mistaken. Instead of coming from outside, the money was being created in Georgia. The Coast Guard just blocked the shipping channels, and the Venezuelans are demanding their money back. How do they manage it? Recreating $1 notes as $100 bills after chemically changing the money to remove the ink. Pi. Reacher said nothing. Following the death of Officer Stevenson, Mayor Teal fires Oscar. Reacher is told to leave town by him. Since there is just one cop remaining, they are the mole. to kill Reacher in the Hubble residence. He organizes the kill squad made of white latex. He murders everyone, Dawson Kleiner included. Reacher discovers Oscar surrounded by Agent Picard, KJ, and Mayor Teal with their weapons drawn as he goes to Picard's safe home to meet Roscoe and the Hubble family. The Viking was a former companion of Picard who has since passed away. KJ tells Reacher that he murdered his father, not the foreign hitmen. He informs Reacher that they are kidnapping Oscar and that he must find Paul Hubble, who is still alive, before they can go. He'll let Charlie and the girls go if he returns them. After Reacher locates Hubble, he joins Neagley and they prepare an attack on the warehouse where Roscoe and Charlie are being born. Oscar is being held captive at the police station. They kill Mayor Teal and KJ during the raid, burning all the money in the process. After bidding farewell to his brother and burying his grandfather's military medal next to the underpass, Reacher departs from Margrave. The memories, establishing Jack Reacher's past and character attributes was one of these. In a few flashbacks, he was defending a tiny village in Afghanistan while serving abroad. He imposed martial rule in his own unique way by murdering men who abused children. There's another round of flashbacks showing Jack and Joe as kids. Joe, being his elder sibling, informed him that his brother's struggle was also his own. Jack declines to apologize to the family when they want him to for beating the general's kid and turns to leave. Why? The wicked get what's coming to them. In the last flashback, Reacher bids his dying mother farewell and displays an uncommon instance of vulnerability. Thank you once again for being a part of Flick Flash. Until next time, keep watching, keep exploring, and keep that movie and TV magic alive. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and stay tuned for more exciting recaps. This is Flick Flash, signing off.